Welcome to Conscious Gatherers. My name is Beverly Thompson.
And I'm AJ Royce. You can call me Royce.
Welcome. This is episode 140, and today's date is February the 18th, 2025. So, more insights today, more exciting times, and man, is the world changing. So, more to share on that. And we did get some wonderful insights, and it's a lot to really think about and realize um, about ourselves. Of course, that's what this is all about.
That's what it's all about.
Um, Gosh, our heart goes out to those that have been affected by storms, by plane crashes, which is happening. Um, just having a tough time because people are having a tough time with the energetic influences, and it's really ourselves, with what's going on and within us and what we term as the outside world. So be number one is be patient with yourself, and be patient with others, and love them for who they are, because we're all on our own path, and we're all not going to think quite the same because of that.
And I say hallelujah to that.
Yeah,
We
yeah,
don't want to all think alike.
exactly.
We can be creative and put our minds together and make even better things.
I'm going to, excuse me, I'm going to adjust the screen just a hair. Yeah, how's that? Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I kind of feel like we're looking up here.
Okay.
All right. We're going to start off with our insights, and we do have comments as we are sharing our insights today. And it all came in this afternoon, so not long ago. And I was going to say we are digesting what we received, but it's really this internal thing that we're experiencing. Right. I like whatever. All right. All right. I'm just going to dive in today. Okay. I heard the word circle, and then circle around. I'm like, okay, what does all this mean? I get these words, and then I get, what's going on and why I heard those words. Oh, by the way, when we're talking about our insights, these it's really working today. Is really I feel it's working with my higher self, our soul self, and connecting more wholly with that, and then that's the information that came forth, versus other beings that do come and visit quite often, and which did happen today too. But it was more of a when the beings came in, they were just really, it was kind of a general, hi, how are you? And
well, I see it as a collective,
Okay.
so we get to experience how we are one with
everything.
everyone else and everything else.
Yeah, no, it's interesting to observe um, communication and the other beings that do come in. But today they're very human looking, and now when I say came in, we could see, using our third eye abilities, we could see them, and feel the energy of them in the room. So that's, and some people will feel it, some people will see, some will see, do both. Everybody has their own way of dealing with that sense within them. So, um, that's that. When we talk about insights, do use your own discernment and what resonates with you, but also listen to the words that come forth. And because I feel that they were shared, and before I got the insight for today, I always ask for whatever's for our highest good and humanity, and what we share with the world in these podcasts. So that's when I start out asking about what to share for this evening. I don't know about you, but that's how I do it. So, and here's what came forth. Of course, the circle around. Then I received the following words: you have come to a point where you are acknowledging the path each of you have decided to take to continue on your journey. This new, that's in quotes. Is it new? I guess in many ways. Well, I'll just continue. This new journey shall and is moving you in a whole new paradigm of living life in the physical. So it's something new in our physicalness. The past is being exposed to show mankind the mechanisms put in place on this planet Earth that has smothered your true essence of God or Creator, whatever word you choose to use, Creator Source. However, the true essence of Creator has not been totally covered up. We had that separate, the great experiment, and what's it like to feel separate from Source when you're really not separate from Source? But that's how I feel what the great experiment's been about. All right. So let me go back. And so the true essence, or excuse me, essence of Creator has not been totally covered up. That light source within each of you cannot totally be extinguished. Once that light is opened, it is or shall burst. It's like, it's just saying whoosh, All right. Then indignation is being felt, not truly understanding what is truly happening across your planet. The release of self, that's with a capital S, self, creator part of us, is happening in most of humanity. There is no one to blame for all the transgressions that have gone on before. Think about that one. It is you evolving from what you blocked and called the unknown. It is now coming to the forefront and will be known, your true identity. That was the insight. I have
Thank you.
more to say after a bit, but it's like, wow, what do you mean? We point fingers like this is going on. This is this person's fault. It's this, these beings' fault that, brought the darkness to the world, and on and on and on and on, the blame game. But did we allow that to happen? And then I'm saying we as humanity, and many of us have come back in this lifetime to say, okay, no more. Let's awaken to our true identity.
Yeah, I think I've been seeing that a lot here lately about, when we step out of the responsibility that we take for ourselves, when we step out of that, that is when things start to go kaflooey. It's you hand over the responsibility to other people, to other agencies, organizations, governments, whatever is around, But it can only happen when you step out of taking responsibility for yourself.
Yeah. And it's hard for a lot of people. Like, what do you mean they're not going to take care of me? I deserve this. I'm alive on this earth. I need to be fed. I need to be housed, and all of these type of things. And it's like, nobody's going to do that for you except you. You make sure that you're fed. Make sure that you have a cover over your head. And I'm not saying that's some people are going through some hard times, and little children and that sort of thing need to be taken care of course, and then we make that happen. However, this is really an age of responsibility. And what word came to me earlier today is that we came into this lifetime to unravel it all. And indeed, it's unraveling. And as Roy said, the governments, the institutions, they're following. And they're saying, I don't know, they're going to, this person's going to ruin the United States and this and this and this, all this crap that's being said out there. And it's like, yeah, because we're going into a new paradigm. We're not going to the old, United States the way it once was. It's not going to happen. Or Canada, or New Zealand, or any country, going through big changes right now. Actually, the whole world is.
Yeah.
UK. I mean, look at, there's just unrest everywhere. Gaza Strip, Israel, just on and on and on and on. It's like, it's like, okay, each country um, and the people in that country and saying, okay, it's time to help our brothers and ourselves and our brothers and our sisters.
Everybody can feel it. It has to change. It can't stay the same. That thing that we were talking about earlier about the only sign of life is growth. If you don't see growth, then there's stagnation, and stagnation leads to death. So, you know, we have to get with it, get on with living and not just existing and letting somebody else pull all the strings. We have to get involved in our own life.
If you choose.
Yeah, if you want to just stagnate and all that, hey, that's your choice, but that's no fun.
It's not fun for me.
No, you feel it. With me, it feels like I'm about to explode on the inside if I don't take that active part in my life.
And I got the word smothered earlier. So it's like, oh, it's like, I'm not going, not doing it anymore. And we're not as a species. And this earth is just going through just such tremendous changes and earth change, what I would call it, earth changes. And as no, I don't. Well, how do I say this? I don't want to get too political, but the greening and the this and that, we are going there, but it doesn't mean that we have to put all these laws in place for that to happen. And some of it is to, I think, increase the money in many people's pockets using that excuse. And I don't accept, upset any of you, but I think a lot of it's a bunch of bull. And it's like, come on, it's allow the earth to breathe, and that's what's happening because um, we're seeing the volcanic activity right now, earthquakes everywhere. What did I hear on Santorini? I heard today that there were um, 18,000 earthquakes. Now, some are quite small, but I think there's only two that's on the earthquake map. 200, excuse me, 200 versus 18,000. It was like an enormous amount of earthquakes.
Incredible.
And so there's a lot of movement in the crust. There's movement of beings inside the earth that are leaving. We have talked about that in a couple of our episodes, I believe, that they don't want to stay in the earth anymore, inner earth beings, and they're starting to move out or have started to move out. Actually, last couple of years, but it seems like it's more so now. The inside of the earth is changing. Center core is changing. I know you were seeing more on that. How far do you want to go into that?
It's just changing, and some things have been influenced to have had an influence to change it, and there's a natural evolution of change going on as well. So we're in kind of precarious times right now, interesting times, but just pay attention to what's going on and let your own intuition talk to you, and you'll know what to do to be of assistance if that's what you're to do.
But stay calm. Say that often, but do stay calm through these times. And more is being shown to us, becoming the known versus the unknown, what I talked about earlier in my insight. So it's coming to the forefront, and it's going to be in our face. And it's like, okay, let's get over it and then get on with life, because our life is just, it's widening. It's one word I can come up with, like, so it's like we're going to just understand so much more about ourselves and by others, and it's going to be fun, the cultural exchanges with other beings, that sort of thing, and of course cultural exchanges here on earth, because there's so many cultures here, and each has their own way of doing things, and it's just, to me, it's just most interesting to see how other people live, that sort of thing. And not everybody lives the same way or enjoys living the same way. Otherwise, we would be. So, all right. Go ahead.
Okay. I'll get on with my insight. And just like many times before, Bev and I got to see that when we had independently gotten our insights, that they go hand in hand, saying the same thing, using different words. So here's what mine said: 40 times the hand of man has been thwarted within the last 25 years. 40 times we have intervened to collapse the makings of misadventure. You, as inhabitants of planet Earth, have been given the gift of time, time to resolve your own problems. But now you have been handed the greatest gift of all, a chance to release the past and open up a new dialogue between your people, friends, and enemies alike, all sensing the waves of something new, all feeling the drudgery, the weight of what has been. The cycle of the old has slipped its last cog, and there is no more time available for one last movement of the clock. Its movement has ceased, and all connected to it has come to a halt. Get on board, we hear the conductor say, for the new train has arrived, and it is filling fast. The destination lies just ahead, and its new day is upon us. Your place has been reserved, and your new garment has been cleaned and pressed. And what is it that you should expect? And we say, the unexpected. And what is it that we shall do? And we say, something new. And where is it we shall go? And we say, someplace wonderful, someplace grand and beautiful. What we have to say to you now is get on board if you desire to fulfill your dreams. The train is at the station, and it will not wait for long, so get on board. And at that point, I saw many, many individuals standing around us. They were all galactic brothers and sisters, all around in a circle, waiting to see what we decide to do. So we're truly living in exciting times, deciding whether we're going to make a move or not, whether we're going to get on board with doing something new instead of getting stuck in all of the old stuff and all those feelings of remorse and stupidity and I coulda, shoulda, woulda, and all of that stuff. It's time to drop all of that and just stop what you were doing, if you choose, and start something new. And that is up to you. It's up to each one of us. Exciting times.
Definitely. Well, okay, you mentioned about the movement of the clock and the aspect of time.
Mm-hmm.
And do you want to explain some of that a little bit more?
Well, biblically, I'm sure you're familiar with to everything there is a season, and that's a great truth. It's like when anything, the energy of anything begins, it has a life expectancy, just like these bodies have a life expectancy. Everything does. How long your car is going to last has a life expectancy. So when that plays out, you buy a new car, you step out of your old body and get a new one. Any number of things, but there is a time frame for everything. It's the energy opens up, and everything that's within that ball of energy plays out. And when it's all played out, it implodes, only to expand open again as something new, a new expression of itself. So that's what I have to say about that.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. Um, I was going to mention the train. Um, and you said about the train, but being on a new track and the destination is wonderful. Do you recall? I'm not sure. I think it was a couple podcasts ago that we were on actually on a ship, and we did share
Yes.
this, I believe.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, where we saw the floor of the ship, which I believe was silvery looking,
Yes.
and then all of a sudden the floor became a screen, and so I was not this body wasn't on there, but it almost feels like your
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
consciousness is on there, and so extend your consciousness out. Projected consciousness is what I call it. But anyway, I looked down, and all of a sudden, what I saw was um, probably about 5 feet off of a train track. I mean, or 6 feet maybe. But I'm like, what's this about? And now this came up today, and I thought, So it gives a little more understanding to seeing that train track that we were shown, a few weeks ago. So
Yeah. Our civilization is getting ready to do something
it,
extraordinary, something that we haven't done before as the species that we are now. It's like our
Mhm.
DNA has a dot 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 at the end of it. It's that potential for realizing something beyond words. So I'm excited.
I'm very excited. As you mentioned, you said there was a new garment cleaned and pressed.
Yeah.
And that's what I see. That's obviously it's our physical bodies. We're being cleaned out. Well, I guess it's a way of saying it. It's just a change. And it's just releasing that past, because you even mentioned those words. And
Yeah, when you have a physical body that's getting ready to realize itself as the light that you actually know that it is. But to have the realization of that more in a physical sense, that's pretty astounding right there. There's most of what we are is space, and but we don't see it that way. We see something pretty solid, but that space is about to be realized as the light that it is. Our eyes have just been hidden from it because that's what we've done to ourselves, covered ourselves up.
yet, we jumped into this paradigm to understand Creator in on various many aspects of itself, of which we are. And so we have seen that and experienced it. And it's like we know ourselves even more. Does that make sense?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's really what's going on. That's what's going on.
It's like a
Wow,
like
how
a
true.
balloon. When you blow up the balloon,
Mhm.
if you had the eyes to see it, to peer inside of that balloon and to see what's really in there, all of those particles of everything. Wow, that's quite a realization.
Yeah. So be ready. Things are going on, and some things are falling. And I just say, let them fall. Um, we're going to be okay. We're going to be okay through all of this if you choose to. Now, if you panic, then it might be it's going to make it harder on yourself. So
Yeah, the thing is to know which things are going to hold you back, and that's fear, panic, all of those reactions instead of
mhm,
proactive things, such as
mhm.
when you love, that's a as opposed to being a reaction to something.
Good point.
You can be all by yourself and be filled with love and direct that love and experience that love. You don't have to depend on somebody else being there to make you feel that, to make you have a reaction of love.
Well, it becomes artificial.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Unconditional love, word I'm looking for. And something was going to come up. What the heck was it? About what's going on. It may come to me.
Yep. Okay.
All right. Does anybody have any comments or any questions? Okay. And any more that you want to say?
I don't think so. Nothing's coming to mind.
Yeah. And I just I want to point this out because I wrote it down earlier about existing and living. And you mentioned that early on in our podcast that, existing is really having no will, and living was, I forget how you said it.
Yeah, how did I say that?
Yeah.
But you're not using. It's like that prayer, the great invocation. I always used to get a bit unnerved by how it's written because it refers to the little wills of men. We act like we have little wills when we're just existing and not being proactive in our own lives in this livingness of this beautiful planet that we're on. But I don't know what else to say about that. It's just,
Yeah. It's, well, as we know, our wills are not little wills.
yeah.
Yeah. And
Only when it's not being used.
and we're standing up, for ourselves and taking our power. I say taking our power back, but taking our power that we already have and realizing we do have that power.
Making use of it.
Our own, not over somebody, but for ourselves.
Yeah.
And so if you feel like you're being pushed in the corner, what's that do?
It makes me go into that fight mode first because you're fighting to be realized as what you are. But then the next phase is you become proactive and realizing and living what you are, which too big for words.
We are big. So I wrote down stand up. So that's what's happening within our hearts. Stand up. And thank you, Ernie. We appreciate your comments.
Which you right.
Yeah. So all right, we can see that. Yes. So,
hey, Ernie.
Thank you. A friend. So appreciate that. All right. Well, thank you for joining us today, and we'll be back in 2 weeks. And more exciting times ahead. It's just don't freak out with everything that's going on.
Yeah.
A lot of exposure will continue, and it's like, we're not doing that. And we are our own saviors, and don't look to somebody else to be your savior, because it is you. Now you can get assistance. Always get assistance if you need it, which we do. We support one another.
Yeah. When you need
often.
help, ask for it.
Yeah. Exactly.
Because not long ago, I called on Bev and our friend Donna. I needed help, and before I was in that nasty habit of when you're in a bad spot, you don't ask for help, so you just sit there and suffer. That doesn't help anybody. If you want things to get better, sometimes you have to ask for help. It's a great thing to have people that you can ask for help.
Energetic things.
Yeah.
So you work and some energies that are probably not so pleasant, and you help another get rid of them or in their space. So that does happen, and especially us. The star seeds. I think we're all star seeds actually. But those that are stepping up and speaking out, that sometimes they're the first ones to get attacked. So it's not to point the finger or anything at the blame at some of those beings, except you're not going to accept that crap from them. So it's like, no more. So anyway, it does come up, and you deal with it and you go on.
That's a very powerful thing that you brought up, the ability to say no. Powerful word.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean that you're being mean. It just means that you know where the boundary is, and you set it. Somebody, something is pushing through that boundary, then it's up to you to say no. If that doesn't work, get help.
Yeah. Exactly. It works. All right. Thank you again. Enjoy the next couple of weeks. And we wish you well as we're going through these times. And just realize how big we really are.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Do you have any last words?
Yes. Thank you so much, all of you, for staying, because that's a choice. You have stayed this long. I hope you can stay longer. If you can't, that's okay. That's up to you. Sometimes people just have to go. They have to exit this life and move on to something else, maybe even come back. But we're each doing our own part. We're doing what we came here to do, whether we realize it or not. Just having your own energy, the power that you have, holding it here at this particular time. This is what we came here for, this particular time. And there are great things being accomplished. And sometimes it's hard to see that. But don't forget that the thing that binds us all together is love. And that is the most powerful force. There is nothing equal to it. It has no equal, no opposite, because it stands alone. It is by itself in a category all its own, the most powerful force in all of everything. And so just know that that is the thing that binds us together. And sometimes we have to try to see beyond all of these ugly facades that people, beings, throw up in front of our faces trying to block the way. Try to see beyond it if you can. And if you can't, then see the love within yourself, because it's there and it's bright, brighter than anything.
Ready to burst. Words I got earlier.
Yeah.
Ready to burst. All right. Thank you. And have a wonderful time. Have a wonderful life.
Love you.
Love you all. All right.
Good night.
Good night.